Let's talk about ways to add documents to M-Files. Depending on what's most convenient for you, there are a variety of ways to get documents into the system. First of all, let's say you have a handful of documents already saved somewhere, maybe on your desktop or in a network folder. We'll just select the documents we'd like to add and drag them right into the application. M-Files then will prompt us to fill in the metadata card for the document so that we can add the associated keywords that we can use to find this document in the future. The first property that we'll assign is the class, which is generally known as the document type. This is the top-level categorization of the document that we are adding to M-Files. We can either scroll through the list of available classes, or we can just begin typing if we already know what the class should be, and the list will narrow down the options based on what we've entered. This is a performance evaluation, so we'll select this class. You'll notice that the metadata fields changed once we selected a class. This is because the properties assigned to each document class are customized based on that document type, so that different document types can have different keyword properties. In this case, we just have a couple of properties to add. For the employee and the date. Clicking Create now saves and checks the document into M-Files. Another option to add documents is from within a Microsoft Office program itself, such as Word or Excel. Because M-Files is fully integrated with Microsoft Office, we can save documents without having to interact directly with the M-Files application. If you'll notice here in this job description, we have an M-Files tab here on the ribbon, and selecting that gives the option to save to M-Files. We just need to select the appropriate vault. I have a few options here in my demo environment. Typically there's only one option here in a live installation. And M-Files then prompts for the metadata for this document. Just like in the other method, we just need to classify the document and enter the appropriate keyword properties. And then click Create to save it into the M-Files database. Closing the document completes the check-in process. So now others can view this document in the M-Files vault. Templates are another way to add documents to M-Files. Most of us are familiar with using common saved versions of Word or Excel documents as a template to create documents that are used over and over and over again. But there's always the risk that someone will accidentally save over the template version of the file, and then it has to be recreated to strip out the customized information so it can be used as a template again. In M-Files, designing a document as a template means that you don't ever have to worry about saving over the template version. M-Files will prompt you to create a new document from the template automatically. Let's see this in action with the personnel action form I have pinned to my section here. When I open the template, instead of going to the template itself, M-Files knows that I want to create a new document based on the template, so I'm presented with the now familiar metadata card right off the bat. I'm going to go ahead and enter my employee information and date. And you'll notice down here in the left corner, the default option is to open this document for editing. This makes sense since this is a brand new document we're crafting, and most likely we'll want to open it right away and finish working on it before moving on. Now when I click Create, that will generate the document in Microsoft Word. And here's my document. One item to note is that the document has been pre-populated with a couple of fields, the employee name and today's date. This is because the M-Files template has been configured to pull this information into the file from the metadata we just entered for this new document. This is part of the integration with Microsoft Office and is a powerful feature that can help standardize documents and reduce data entry. Another option for adding documents to M-Files is directly from Outlook. Many of us spend a large portion of our day in Outlook, and oftentimes we receive documents in our email that we will then want to add to M-Files, and it would be most convenient to be able to add those items without ever having to leave Outlook. And this is possible due to the integration with Microsoft Office. Here's a vacation request that came in from an employee, and I'd like to go ahead and take this form and add it to M-Files. You'll notice in my list of folders here on the left side, I've got an M-Files section. and this is connected to all of the vaults in my demo environment right now. So I can go ahead and simply take this attachment and drag it into the folder for my demo vault. mFiles now will prompt me for metadata, just like any other document, so I can enter in the required information. After clicking Create, we can flip over to mFiles and see that this document now shows up in my Recently Accessed by Me section because I just created this document. Finally, we do have the option of configuring a network folder that is connected directly to the mFiles application. Perhaps you are still regularly using a scanner to scan documents onto your network, and you'd like these documents to be automatically ingested into mFiles without having to direct that process yourself. To demonstrate that, I'm going to take this W4 that I have on my desktop and add that file to my scan folder. Now behind the scenes, mFiles is regularly polling this folder for the presence of new documents. When it finds this document, it's going to not only add it to mFiles, but it will run OCR on it to make it a searchable PDF file, and then it will read specific areas on the document to assign the relevant metadata when it saves the document. This can minimize the amount of manual data entry that has to take place after the documents are imported into mFiles. So let's go find our new W4 that should be added to Serena's file. And here we find it. And notice mFiles has applied the employee name and date to this file already.